Hello everybody and welcome back to our full simulation Watercloak career mode with Portsmouth FC. This, ladies and gentlemen, is episode 4, and what we do today, of course, is we finish season 2 and yeah, we're also in the transfer window. January transfer window. The only goal there was, on the side of selling players, I think we only had one player on the transfer list. That was this one striker, Loaf, I don't know how to pronounce his name, to be honest. I think we had nobody on the loan list, nobody else on the transfer list, so only one player. I would give him, if there's or wait for an offer and then sell if possible. On the other side, we don't have the money to sign anybody who's interesting, good enough. That would really help our squad. We don't have enough money for that, which means the only thing I really go for are pre-contract signings. So I was scouting for players that are of course at least 23, because if he's under 23, I cannot ask him to sign a big contract, and not older than 28, otherwise it's too old in my opinion. Then he will just already quite soon go down this rating. Again, this is not what we really look for. And yeah, we had two players on our transfer shortlist too that were available on a big contract. A CDM that I didn't really look for. We don't need a CDM, and I don't really need a backup CDM right now. But we also have Kan Aihan, a very good center back that I was kind of looking for, and I definitely was sure I would at least offer him a contract and see if he would do it. Not sure if he wants to go from, he's very good rated and playing for good teams, going down to the 3rd league of England, but maybe he will. I just wanted to offer him a contract. Yeah, and that's basically all I wanted to do in the transfer window. Just look if there's somebody available on a big contract, as well as offer Kan Aihan a contract and sell this one striker. Games wise, I just wanted the mid-table place. The board said win the league, 26 games in, as you can see, 20 games to go, of course. We're on a nice 3rd place, it's quite sure that we will finish 3rd. Of course, a bad one, we could drop down, but it looked kinda like currently we would fight against Oxford United and we're on a better one than them for 2nd place. So who will get directly promoted, who has to go in the playoffs, and then of course play for promotion. So my main goal was to keep up the good form, keep training the players, let them grow, improve the team this way, and get 2nd place if possible, or at least finish in the playoff spot. But I mean, we were at like 10-11 points in front of a non-playoff spot 7th place, so we looked kinda safe. Alright, let's go. In January we had 5 games, 2 cup games, 3 league games. In the league, Scunthorpe, Plymouth and Notts County. In the cups we had Northampton again and Bradford City. We start off with a really easy game in my opinion. It's an away game, yes, but also a St. John's team I do know. But we play against Scunthorpe and it was a 3-0 win. Next up we had another game against Northampton. I feel like this is the 4th time we played against them already in this season, because we played them at least 1 cup, maybe even 2, twice in league or something. We play against them very often, this time in the FA Cup. 5-1 win. What a win. Goals from Paslak, who has I think scored for the first time in a real game, as well as Robert, Lecco, Bennett and Chaplin. 5-1 win. Great stuff. And of course, because of the win, we do get some prize money. Not that much, but it's a little bit. Next up, we had another home game in the league. We played with our first choice team against Plymouth. Boom, 3-0 win. Another quite easy win. We're on some great form so far in this episode, but of course, we just started an injury for Manning, as you were able to see. Thank God, though, he was only out for 4 days, so nothing really. And then a weird message. For some reason, we once again got prize money in the FA Cup. Don't know why, but I accept it. I have no problem with money. Next up we had a away game, first choice team in the league against Notts County. And for the first time we only get a draw, and it is unfortunately therefore the first time we drop points in this episode and do not get a win, but I'm not too unhappy with it. I feel like we should win, but it's fine for now, I guess. The next game we had was against Bradford City in the area final. I don't understand exactly how the Checker Trophy works, but area final at least heard, or like it seemed to be an important game. I don't know. We played away against Bradford City, first choice team too, so I expected quite an easy win, to be honest. And then this, 2-0 loss. Definitely not what I would have expected. We also used our first choice team, and of course Leganzi got injured. And unfortunately, he was out for a bit longer, 5 weeks. I mean, he's not the most important player, but it's still kinda sad that he has to be injured for so long. The last game of the month was in the FA Cup. We played away against Burnley, so a big team who has won against Man United recently. So I expected, okay, we just lost against Bradford City 2-0. Now, how are we supposed to win? And then this, we somehow won against Burnley away. We cannot win at, I think it was at home against Bradford City, but against Burnley away, who has recently won against United, and they seem to, at least it looks like they played with the first choice team, we somehow won. And that even though Vieira for some reason got a red card after 50 minutes. But Chaplin somehow scored and we somehow did win the game. Also got an injury, and as you will see, it was this time another centre mid. Thank God only injured for 7 days, just after Lingazi, our first backup, is injured for 5 weeks. Would have been bad if one of our first choice centre mids would have been injured. Also you can see, of course, I offered both a contract. The most I can offer them, both declined. Which means, currently at this state, I was sure it was just a few days, there was nobody else really interesting and I could not go for these two. Kalayan just doesn't want to join. It's not a big surprise. Why would he go from a very good team, or I think it's just alright, he could play for a decent Bundesliga team and go down to the third league of England, so not a big surprise. And then last but not least, we got some prize money again from the FA Cup, 90,000 pounds. Then I have made a decision because there was nobody interesting to sign up and we were not able to go for these two players. I just didn't really need the money, so I have decided what I also told you. If there's nobody we're gonna sign, then I will do that. Adjust the money, go for a lot of transfer budget, and look who is like kind of the best scout we can sign. And we could sign two-star scouts, which is the minimum. I would have not gone for anything less than that. I probably was able to even afford like a 3-star, but I just wanted to sign one. Sean Lee, of course, is English, that's why I've gone for him. And of course we will scout England for 9 months for just any, because we don't really care about where he is good. It's just important that he has good rating and good potential. Yeah, our first youth scout in this series, guys. And this is it, guys, to answer a deadline day. And yeah, kinda boring to answer window for us, at least. Nothing happened. We wanted to sell a player, but we didn't even get an offer for him. We got a few offers for players we really don't want to sell, like Paslak or Svilar. Or Chaplin, but we don't really want to sell them. I didn't even find one player I could sign on a big contract that was at least kinda interesting. And a lot has changed. We are still only 3rd place. We are still around 10 points away from like 4th and whatever. But what has changed is that Oxford United now is 1st. It's still 4 points. I think we have got as many points as them, so it's still 4 points to them. But Rotherham has lost so many points. We are 7 points behind them, I think, in the start of this, like last month. We have gone for 3 or 4 league games, and now it's only 3 points. So Rotherham has played really bad. And now it's only 4 points to 1st. It's a big fight between 3 teams. In the start of last month it was a big fight between 2, now between 3. And yeah, the games in this month. 5 league games, the biggest one of course against Rotherham, and 1 cup game again against Bradford City. And here we go, we have our team, now it has to perform. First game away against Gillingham. Boom, a 3-0 win. We scored in the first minute already, then Chaplin for a penalty and a late goal when it just subbed in centre back. Alright. Even though he didn't get subbed in as centre back for some reason. But alright, 3-0 win, very good. Good start into this month, and for some reason once again we got prize money for FA Cup. This prize money thing does make sense, to be honest, but Next away, Bradford City wanted revenge after we just lost against them in the cup in the last one. Second choice team, boom, 3-2 win, big game, a lot of goals, but in the end we did win. Naismith, Stevens and Evans, so our left back and our right back for some reason did score, but alright, it's finally a win against them. And here we go guys, the big one. Currently 30 games in, 16 games to go. We are still third place. Oxford City dropped down again, but now it's only 2 points to Oxford City and still just 3 points to Rotherham. So now it's only 3 points between first and third, a big fight between 3 teams. And we had now the big one at home, first choice team against Rotherham. The first time we played against them this season in the league. We used our second choice team and lost, this time first choice team, and boom, it is Chaplin with 2 goals, a penalty and a goal which is not a penalty. 2-0 win, easy peasy, actually another clean sheet, and as you were able to see, boom, look at this. 31 games in, 15 games to go, all the 3 teams on 36 points. We won, Rotherham of course lost, and Oxford City got a draw. And we do have the best goal difference, so for the first time in this season, I think at least, Portsmouth FC is first place. Even though we have the same amount of points than all the other 2 teams. So this will be a big fight for who wins the league, who will also get directly promoted, and who has to go in the playoffs. This will be big. But of course, if we would win all the remaining 15 games, they can do whatever they want to. We will be the winning. We will win the league. We have the best goal difference currently. And then this, yeah, not the greatest start of course. Playing against quite a bad team. With our second choice team, yes, but very disappointing tour to be honest. Then Ghazi was back from injury, was out for a long time. It's decent, he's a bit better than the, I forgot the name, the other center mid in our second choice team. FA Cup game against Spurs, I mean we won against Burnley, but Spurs is even better. Even though of course they lost Alan, they lost, I forgot the one name, but the two big players, Kane and the other dude. And they won against us 2-0, not a big surprise to be honest. But we again somehow still got prize money for it. Ellie, of course, Ellie's name, Alan. Alan is, I mean it was close. Home game against Oldham City in the league. Hopefully this time we can win. Boom, yes, this time we do. Baker, Naismith scoring the goals. 2-0 win with our second choice team. Imbo Chaplin did miss a penalty. Injury on their side. Great stuff. Next up we had a game against Bury, the last game of this month, away. And we lose. Not the greatest performances in this month in the league. A draw, a win and a loss I think. Not amazing, Chaplin did score but we lost against Bury. Disappointing. But even though we just got 4 points out of 9, which is really bad for first place and we had some easy games. We are still first place because one of them also got 4 points, Oxford City even just 3. On the other side we have Burton Albion who's playing so amazing that suddenly, I think in the start of this episode, they were 8 points behind us I think and we were 7 behind Rotherham, so I think they were 15 behind first, now only 8. It looked like if you keep performing this badly and Burton Albion keeps performing this decent, they would actually maybe even fight for like first thing or something, so the good thing is of course the other two teams not in the best form, so we had maybe the chance to do good. Only a few games remaining, I think 11, and we had 7 games in this month on the league. The biggest one of course against Burton Albion and Oxford City just within 3 days, these 2 big games. Of course I still use my second choice team against Burton Albion of course. But yeah, good month for us, a lot of wins, and we are almost through, at least a second and get promoted. A bad month and we will drop down even probably to 4th place. For some reason we start off the month with again getting prize money. This thing just is so confusing, does make sense. But here we go guys, Northampton again. I think the 4th or 5th time we play against them. I think actually the 5th time we play against them this season. We need a win. Boom, yes it is Felix Paslak, who rarely scores anymore, but this was a very important goal. Quite 20 minutes before the end. He wins us this game. Next up of course Burton Albion, second choice team away. They are in some crazy good form even though they lost the last game against Coventry City. So I would have accepted a draw. And then this, not a big surprise to be honest that they won against us. But of course still not the greatest result. So we start off with 3 points in 2 games, not amazing. We are still somehow first place, but now again 70-70-70. Burton Albion 8 points behind us. So they kinda lost the amazing form, but I mean 70-70-70 and now Oxford, it's a huge game, we need to win. First choice team at home, we need to win in this. And boom, it is Chaplin and Sessignon scoring the goals, we get a clean sheet and win this 2-0. So even though we top points against some bad teams, against Oxford City, Oxford United and against Rotherham and all these big teams, we basically almost always win. So that's at least really good. Next up we have Rochdale, not the greatest team, but they got 3 wins in a row, one of them against Burton Albion and one against Bury who just beat us, or got a draw against us. So we shouldn't underestimate them, and we got a draw. First choice team too. They got a very early red card, which is the main thing that is making me unhappy with this. I would accept a draw, but they were down to 10 men basically for the full game. Also next, we need 3 good results, man. We dropped a lot of points and then this. We finally, thank God, did get it. Lecco with 2 goals, winning us this game, getting us 3 important points. Next up, Bradford City. I think this is the last game of the month, or the second last. Can we keep up this good form, get another win? Boom, yes we can. Evans, Chaplin and Vieira with a late goal. Second choice team with a 3-0 win against them, very nice. And it was actually, of course, I forgot the game against Fleetwood, so not the last game, but this is it. This has to be an easy win, and it is not an easy win, but it is a win. Lecco again with 2 goals, getting us 3 big points. So we started off meh, but we ended very strongly in this very important month. Training injury in the start of April, but thank God only for a few days, so not too bad. And yeah, here in the start of April, 5 games to go, 41 games in. We are first place, we have the best goal times and are 3 points in front of the second and third, which meant Burton Albion cannot get there anymore. They will get 4th, probably Rochdale actually quite decent now. Yeah, I mean, 5 games to go. If we get 4 wins, we are through. We have the better goal difference. So we needed 4 wins in the last 5 games to do it. And you will see, we didn't really have the most difficult games. MK Don's decent team. The other team's quite easy to beat. So we should be able to get 4 wins in these 5 games. I mean, we want to win the league. So you should win these, at least 4 of these 5. Southampton first. And it is a boom 2-1 win. Chaplin 10 minutes for the end, thank God, wins us this game. 4 games remaining, we need 3 wins away against Wycombe with our first team, who are in crazy good form with 3 wins in a row, winning against Waterham too. So they are definitely not to underestimate. And boom, it's only a draw. We did take the lead, even though we were down to 10 men for basically since the 23rd minute. 15 minutes for the end, unfortunately, they did get the equalizer, so not great, but I have to live with it. The most difficult game maybe, even though we're playing at home with our first team, but MK Don's the best team probably. Boom, though, 2-0 win, Chaplin a game with a goal, and Bennett scores 2. So 2 wins and a draw so far, I think, at 3 games. I think 1 or 2 more wins will do it. Next up, Peterborough away, should be an easy win, even though we use our second team, but boom, only to Aleko once again. 10 minutes before the, after the substitution, 5 minutes before the end. Thank God he kind of saves us a point again, but not the result I was looking for, even though, boom guys, we did it. 1 game to go, 45 games played, 3 points to get. We are 4 points in front of Oxford United. We have not won the league yet, we would have probably won the league if we would have won against them. But we have been promoted guys, promotion was secured with this draw. 4 points in front of Oxford United. We have done it, and if we would win the last game, it's an easy winnable game. First team, it's an away game, yes, but Swindon Town should be quite easy to beat them. If we would do it, we would win the league. And then this. And at this point I was really disappointed because I just thought yes, we got promoted. But why do we have to draw away against freaking Swindon Town? Or Swindon City, I don't know actually, but I think Swindon Town. Very disappointed. I was sure that we are now dropping down to second, which is still nice, but the board also wanted to win the league and we could have got a back-to-back league title. Well, Waterham actually dropped points again. I mean, to be honest, Waterham and Oxford United, us including, we were in so bad form actually, we were such bad form that it's quite surprising that even though Belton Albion had some decent form, we somehow still finished as the first 3. But yeah, here we go. We have won the league. Waterham, because of goal difference, also getting promoted, and Oxford United only have to go into, or only made the playoffs. I hope they get promoted because I think they deserve it. Prize money is decent enough. And yeah guys, now it's time to end this season. So we look at the league table first. If you care about the bottom 5-6 teams, then skip the video, stop the video and look at it. But here you can see we have finished. It was really close. I mean, really, there were 3 big teams. So we again really hope that Oxford United will get promoted, will win the playoffs because they deserve it. In my opinion, it would be really sad if they would not get promoted. So I really hope they will do. You will see in the end of this episode if they did. Otherwise, you can see it was really close in the most things. I mean, we got 27 wins, Waterham 2, and Oxford United only 1 less with 26, but everyone with 25 wins. Really not too bad. So they were really close actually. We got 8 losses, Waterham 10 and Oxford United 8, so it was really close. We sold twice. The main difference is, though, even if Waterham would have won, we would, instead of drawn, I think they got a draw, maybe they lost actually, I'm not 100% sure. But if they would have won, and we would have been on the same amount of points, we would have still made it, because even though we got the same amount of wins than Waterham and only 1 more than Oxford, and the same amount of losses than Oxford and only 2 less than Waterham, the goal difference, the amount of goals scored and goals conceded, we were OP in that. 80 goals, 8 more than Oxford and 9 more than Waterham, and only 30 goals conceded, which is 7 less than Waterham and 16 less than Oxford, which is why our goal difference is 24 points. Basically, basically twice as good as Oxford's and 16 points better than Waterham. We have, in some point, I think in the start of April, we got first place, and it was always that we were on the same amount of points than the other 2, or at least one of the other 2. But our goal difference was just OP. 80 goals, 30 goals conceded, crazy goal difference of plus 50. Which is actually not amazing in my opinion, but in 46 games, but of course not too bad. I mean, in total we got 90 more wins than losses, and made a goal difference of plus 50, actually really not too bad to be honest. But yeah, here we go. We got promoted, Rotterdam 2, we won the league, back-to-back league title. Expected us to maybe in the first season to like win the league, but definitely to get promoted. In this season again, expected a mid-table place, and somehow we did win the league. What the frick. And not only that, we were almost as good as last season, because I think last season we finished with exactly 100 points, or like 101 or something. But I think it was exactly 100 points. And this season we finished with 92, so just a few less. We got basically 3 wins less. So we were almost on as good form than last season against a lot weaker teams, so that's quite a surprise. And now guys, it is time of course for our squad report. First of all, we're gonna have a quick rush through the statistics. Nothing too important. I mean, the most important things for me are like Jonathan Lecco, who scored 14 goals and got 5 assists, 19 score points and 35 games. So definitely an amazing signing, very happy that I signed him. Also the man of the season of course, Connor Chaplin. Last season he has played quite disappointing, only got I think like 10 goals and 2 assists or so. But this season he showed the class, finally he did. 23 goals and 8 assists, 31 score points and 44 league games. If you look at the cup games too, 2 goals and 2 EFL Cup games, 2 goals and 1 Checker Trade Trophy and 3 goals and an assist and 4 FA Cup games. In total, in 51 games, he got 30 goals and 9 assists. 51 games, 39 score points. He has been by far the man of the season. Except of this, stats wise, Carl Baker kinda interesting, scoring 7 goals in 13 league games. With his rating, really not bad. So maybe he's actually a lot better. Maybe he should play more, but he's odd. And now we're gonna have a look at, of course, at the Quoth. Nothing too amazing, only the players I really trained. You will see that of course our left back syndrome has gone up a lot. I trained him since I signed him over time, growing a lot in everything basically, so great player for sure. In the age of 18, already on the Premier League level in my opinion. Vieira also gone up quite a lot. He is just an all-rounder, he can do everything, he can pass, he can triple, he has decent pace, stamina. Great stuff everywhere. I'm not 100% sure what I'm even supposed to train him anymore, because he can do everything on a decent level. So aggression is the only thing I would wish to be a bit higher. Except of this, you will see a few players are really old and gone down, like Gary Roberts, who really have to be replaced soon, who is some really bad physical stats now. Lecco is another player I trained for a lot, who is a great man. 92 acceleration, 93 spin set, so he's fast. Stamina is very good. Attack position has gone up a lot to 71. 92 tripping, yes. 80 plus finishing too. I mean, he is fast, he has agility, he can run for a lot. His attack position is not too bad, he can triple, he can score. The only thing I really see that I still want to train him is passing and crossing, but you can see I train him a lot in crossing, plus 19 already. Except of this, Chaplin gone up quite a lot, plus 5, but yeah, pace going up a bit. Great player for sure. And except of this, you will see a few players gone up a bit. Alex Bass plus 3, but nothing too amazing, so we still need a lot more talents in this team. And we do have a lot of old players who gone down a lot. For example, also Carl Baker, who has again played amazing, but stamina minus 17 to 42, finishing going down a lot. We're gonna have to replace him, man. Even though he's playing good, minus 3 in the age of 45 is not great. But actually nobody is retiring. Even though we have a lot of like mid-30 players, we have nobody who left us because they're gonna retire. For the second time I got the bench of the season. Last season already I was quite confused that I got bench of the season, because I only got I think bench of the month like 3 times, so I thought like 3 out of 10 times and then bench of the season is a bit weird. This season I think I've never got bench of the month, but I did get the bench of the season award, which is in my opinion not really fair. I don't think I deserved it, but alright, I will take it. Last few things we're gonna have a look at. Chaplin, top goal scorer with 23 goals, 4 better than Burton Albion striker. Most assists we are not too great in that, but we do have the most clean sheet by far too, with 22. So yeah, we have the best attacker and the best goalie, clean sheet wise, so best defense too. Really, really nice. And yeah guys, now we are jumping into the new season. And of course I'm gonna tell you a few things, but before though, we're gonna have a look at the objectives. Nothing too amazing, quite confused that there is no high priority, 2 medium and 3 low priorities. Evo continental success, I mean there's nothing too amazing. The only like really thing it's kinda worth to talk about is domestic success in the league. Thank God they don't ask me. I actually really excited them to ask me again to win the league, but this time only finish my table place, which is nice. I still think, I mean, I'm surprised that we made it within 2 seasons to the second league, the championship. I thought we would need 3 seasons, but here we are. But we are not on the Premier League level yet. I think we have a lot of players who maybe can already play like pass like or whatever, but we still need a lot of change in the squad. So mid-table, I think, is exactly where I see my team too. Get a mid-table place, improve the team, and I think next season, so season 4, is where we maybe try to get into the playoffs, and maybe can do it. And I think at least season 5 is the season we really want to make playoffs. But season 3 we only want to have nothing to do with relegation, so get a nice mid-table place. That's really it. Transfer budget wise, nothing too amazing. 3 million in the transfer budget, a bit more than 1 million in the wage budget, so we got like 4 point something, 4.2 maybe or so. With Beast and Tournament, we probably can increase it to like around 6 million, so it's not amazing. We also don't really want to sell anybody except of this low striker, which is why, yeah, we don't have that much money and not like amazing things to do with it. We'll see what we can do basically. The last 2 things I want to do is first of all have a look at the league table to see our current next opponents in the next season. Also of course want to see if Oxford United did it, and you will see I'm very sad by it, but they actually did not do it. Rotherham of course that got promoted. Who are the other team? I'm not 100% sure actually. From Huddersfield maybe? No, it's Burton Albion of course. Burton Albion has made it, so the second best team. But I'm quite sad. Oxford United has played amazing well in the top 2 for such a long time and finished 2 points behind first on the same amount of points as second, and then did still not get promoted. Very sad about it, to be honest. But Burton Albion did win probably the final against them, and so it's Burton Albion, Rotherham and us in this league. No big team, so no big Premier League team that got relegated. QPRs here. We have some big teams of course, but yeah, Bournemouth maybe. But yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the last thing I want to talk about is, before I really say thank you and stuff, is the transfer window that is upcoming. Again, we probably have like 5-6 millions to spend. We want to maybe sell a player, whatever, and use some players maybe in a swap deal if you sign new players. But we do have a right back that I don't want to replace. We do have a goalie that I don't want to replace, a center back, a left back, a CDM, a right winger, and a striker. Which means we still have one center back, the both center mids, and the left winger left. In the center back position we are not too bad, we have enough players there, and it's not the worst place there, so I don't really look as a center back currently. The same for the left wing position again, we have backups. Bennett is really not the worst player. So what I really want to do is I want to sign 2, not just 1, I want to sign 2 first choice center mids. And you can of course tell me, you know a few players on our short list, but you can of course tell me who you think I want to, who I should scout or sign, who is available for around like 3 million, I guess. I'm looking at players out around, I mean, we do have the money for it, so around 68 to like 72 ratings with an 80 plus potential and more attacking center mid. So I'm not really looking for a center mid to CDM player who is kind of decent in passing and defending, but nothing else. I want to look for a center mids who are good in passing, walking short, dribbling, maybe some finishing there, maybe some free kicks, maybe some corners, maybe some long shots or whatever. More attacking than defensive. I'm looking more of a number 10 or 8 than at the number 8 or 6, if you know what I mean. But I want to sign 2, not just 1 in a center back. No, I'm signing 2 center mids. And yeah, that's basically because first of all, our center mid position is a bit bad compared to other positions. I mean, our Burgess, the other center mid who has no potential, or Bennett are better than our center mids. And we have Gary Roberts, who is currently our one of our first choice center mids, who is in the age of 35. So I really want to replace him. As backup we have another player, I think who is 31, and another player who's like 35 or so. So we have a lot of old center mids who are going down, who are probably going to retire soon, who are not going to core at all. We have also nobody else with potential in the center mid position. So it's really, really important if we want to compete on at least, especially the championship level, we need 2 new center mids. I want the high 60 to low 70 rating, 80 plus potential, more attacking than defensive. Yeah. 1 week for you guys to tell me. In a week, next weekend, probably next Sunday, we are gonna start off season 3 in the championship. I hope you look forward to that, guys. Nothing else I really want to ask you except of, yeah, if you enjoyed this season and this episode, would be very nice if you could smash the like button. If you didn't enjoy anything, please tell me. Give me some criticism in the comments. For example, one of you told me that this one like overlay I did for the transfer window that he did enjoy it and I should do it again. Of course I would have done it again if there would have been any kind of transfers, but yeah, I will do it again for the next transfer window, I can tell you that. Except of this, guys, have an amazing day. I will see you tomorrow with our book. We're finishing the transfer window probably, and in 2 days we're gonna continue and start off the last season of the Axel mode. Hope you're looking forward to these two things too. In a week again, the next PORTSMOUTH FC episode. Have an amazing day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.